Hello everyone, this is Sumit Bose and I'm from the Bodhi Academy. Today we are going to discuss on the chapter Agriculture. So without any further delay, let's start. Okay. Gurpreet, Madhav and Tina were walking through the village where they saw a farmer tilling land. Okay. Means getting the land ready for farming. The farmer told them that he was growing wheat and had just added manure to the soil to make it more fertile. He told the children that that the wheat would fetch a good price in the mandi from where it would be taken to factories to make bread biscuits from flour. This transformation from a plant to a finished product involves three types of economic activities. Okay, whenever the seed is sown and whenever the crops are ready, so this transformation, three factors are there. Okay, three activities, the economic activities are there. What are there? What are they? Primary, secondary, and tertiary. Now we will know what are primary activities. Primary activities include all those connected with extraction and production of natural resources. Okay, primary activities include extraction and production of natural resources. Agriculture, fishing, gathering are good examples. Okay. Secondary activities, what are those? Secondary activities are concerned with the processing of these resources. Manufacturing of steel, baking of bread, weaving of cloth are examples of this activity. Tertiary activities provide support to the primary and secondary sectors through services. Transport, trade, banking, insurance and advertising are the examples of tertiary activities. Agriculture is a primary activity. It includes growing crops, fruits, vegetables, flowers and rearing livestock. In the world, 50% of the person are engaged in agricultural activity. Two-thirds of India's population is still dependent on agriculture. Favorable topography of soil and climate are vital for agricultural activity. The land on which the crops are grown is known as arable land. In the map, you can see that agricultural activity is concentrated in those regions of the world where suitable factors for growing crops exist. Okay, now agriculture is a primary activity. Okay, fishing, these are primary activity. So agriculture varies from place to place because different places have different climates. Okay, and different amount of rainfall, so different regions of the world suitable factor for growing crops, so different crops. So let's know this in detail. Farm system. Agricultural farming can be looked at as a system. The important inputs are seeds, fertilizers, machinery, and labor. Some of the operations involved are plowing, sowing, irrigation, weeding, and harvesting. The outputs from the system include crops, wool, dairy and poultry products. Types of farming. Okay, there are many types of farming. There are two types of farming. Okay, subsistence farming and commercial farming. Farming is practiced in various ways across the world. Depending upon the geographical conditions, demand or produce, labor and level of technology, farming can be classified into two main types. What are those? subsistence farming and commercial farming. What is subsistence farming? This type of farming is practiced to meet the needs of the farmer's family. Traditionally, low levels of technology and household labor are used to produce on small output. Subsistence farming can be further classified as intensive subsistence and primitive subsistence farming. In intensive subsistence agriculture, the farmer cultivates a small plot and land using simple tools and more labor. Climate with large number of days with sunshine and fertile soil permit growing of more than one crop annually on the same plot. Rice is the main crop. Other crops include wheat, maize, pulses and oil seeds. Intensive subsistence agriculture is prevalent in thickly populated areas of the monsoon regions of South, Southeast and East Asia. Primitive subsistence agriculture includes shifting cultivation and nomadic herding. Shifting cultivation. What is shifting cultivation? Shifting cultivation is practiced in the thickly forested areas of Amazon basin, tropical Africa, parts of Southeast Asia and Northeast India. These are the areas of heavy rainfall and quick regeneration of vegetation. A plot of land is cleared by felling the trees and burning them. The ashes are then mixed with the soil and the crops like maize, yam, potatoes and cassava are grown. After the soil loses its fertility, the land is abandoned and the cultivator moves to a new plot. Shifting cultivation is also known as slash and burn agriculture. So this is very important. Shifting cultivation is known as slash and burn agriculture. Nomadic herding. Nomadic herding is practiced in semi-arid and arid regions of Sahara, Central Asia and some parts of India like Rajasthan and Jammu and Kashmir. In this type of farming, herdsmen move from place to place with their animals for the fodder and water along defined routes. This type of movement arises in response to climatic constraints and terrain. Sheep, camel, yak and goats are most commonly reared. They provide milk, meat, wool, hides and other products to the herders of their families. Commercial farming. In commercial farming, crops are grown and animals are reared for sale in market. The area cultivated and the amount of capital used is large. Okay, so commercial farming is done for commercial purposes, means to earn money. So huge amount of capital is required here. Okay, most of the work is done by machines. Commercial farming includes commercial grain farming, mixed farming, plantation agriculture. In commercial grain farming, crops are grown for commercial purpose. Wheat and maize are the common commercially grown grains. Major areas where commercial grain farming is practiced are temperate grasslands of North America, Europe and Asia. These areas are sparsely populated with large farms spreading over hundreds of hectares. Severe winters restrict the growing season and only single crop can be grown. In mixed farming, the land is used for food, fodder crops and rearing livestock. So one side of the mixed farming, one part of the land is used for growing food and fodder crops and rearing livestock. One side is for rearing livestock. It is practiced in Europe, Eastern USA, Argentina, Southeast Australia, New Zealand and South Africa. Plantations. Plantations are a type of commercial farming where single crop of tea, coffee, sugarcane, cashew, rubber, banana or cotton are grown. Large amount of labor and capital are required. They produce may be different from farm itself but in nearby factories. The development of a transport network in this essential for such farming. Major plantations are found in tropical regions of the world. Rubber in Malaysia, coffee in Brazil, tea in India and Sri Lanka are some examples. Major crops. A large variety of crops are grown to meet the requirement of the growing population. Okay. Crops also supply raw materials for agro-based industries. Major fruit crops are wheat, rice, maize, and millets. Jute and cotton are fiber crops. Important beverages are again tea and coffee. Rice. Rice is the major fruit crop of the world. It is the staple diet of the tropical and subtropical regions. Rice needs high temperature, high humidity, and rainfall. It grows best in alluvial clay soil, which can retain water. China leads in the production of rice, followed by India, Japan, Sri Lanka, and Egypt. In favorable climate conditions, as in West Bengal and Bangladesh, 2 to 3 crops are grown in a year. Wheat. Wheat requires moderate temperature and rainfall during growing season and bright sunshine at the time of harvest. It thrives best in well-drained loamy soil. Wheat is grown extensively in USA, Canada, Argentina, Russia, Ukraine, Australia, and India. In India, it is grown in winter. Millets. They are also known as coarse grains and can be grown on less fertile and sandy soil. So millets are naturally grown in less fertile and sandy soil. So in desert areas, okay, or dry areas, millets are grown. It is a hardy crop that needs low rainfall and high to moderate temperature and adequate rainfall. Jowar, bajra, and ragi are grown in India. Other countries are Nigeria, China, and Niger. Maize. Maize requires moderate temperature, rainfall, and lots of sunshine. It needs well-drained fertile soils. Maize is grown in North America, Brazil, China, Russia, Canada, India, and Mexico. Cotton. Cotton requires high temperature, light rainfall, 210 frost-free days, and bright sunshine for its growth. It grows best on black and alluvial soils. China, USA, India, Pakistan, Brazil, and Egypt are the leading producers of cotton. It is one of the main raw materials for the cotton textile industry. So, next one is jute. Jute was also known as the golden fiber. Okay, it grows well in alluvial soil and requires high temperature, heavy rainfall, and humid climate. This crop is grown in the tropical areas. India and Bangladesh are the leading producers of jute. Coffee. Coffee requires warm and wet climate, well-drained loamy soil. Hill slopes are more suitable for growth of this crop. Brazil and leading producer, followed by Colombia and India. Tea. Tea is a beverage crop grown on plantations. This requires cool climate and will distribute high rainfall throughout the year for the growth of its tender leaves. It needs well-drained loamy soil, gentle slopes, labor in large number is required to pick the leaves. Kenya, India, China, Sri Lanka produce the best quality of tea in the world. What are the what are the two famous teas from India? Assamese tea and Darjeeling tea. They are world famous. Agricultural development. Agricultural development refers to efforts made to increase farm production in order to meet the growing demand of the increasing population. So, the population is growing. So, the demand is also growing. So, agricultural development is essential. Okay, because if agricultural developments are not done, then it can't meet the demands of the growing population. This can be achieved in many ways, such as increasing in cropped area, the number of crops grown, improving irrigation facilities, use of fertilizers, and high yielding variety of seeds. Mechanization of agriculture is also another aspect of agricultural development. The ultimate aim of agricultural development is to increase food security. Agriculture has developed at different places in different parts of the world. Developing countries with large crops are grown on small holding, mostly of subsistence. Larger holdings are more suitable for commercial agriculture as in USA, Canada, and Australia. With the help of the two case studies of farms, one from India and the other from USA, let us understand about agriculture in developing and a developed country. So, what is agricultural development? So, we are going to go through a case study to understand this thing in very detail. Okay, what are the differences of agricultural development between a developing and a developed country? So, how much does it matter? How much does the production increases? Okay, or what is the difference of the production between an agricultural developing country and a developed country? Okay, so let us go through a case study. There is a small village in Adilabad in Ghaziapur district of Uttar Pradesh. Munna Lal is a small farmer in the village who has farmland of about 1.5 hectares. His house is in the main village. He purchases high yielding varieties of seeds from the market every alternate year. The land is fertile and he grows at least 2 crops in a year, which are normally wheat and rice and pulses. The farmer takes advice from his friends and elders as well as government agricultural officers regarding farm practices. He takes a tractor on rent for ploughing his field, though some of his friends still use traditional method of using bullocks. So bullocks are still used for ploughing. There is a tube well in the nearby field which he takes on rent to irrigate his field. Munna Lal also has 2 buffaloes and few hens. He sells milk in the cooperative store and located in the nearby town. He is a member of the cooperative society which also advises him on the type of fodder for his animals, safety measures to protect the health of the livestock and artificial insemination. As the members of the family help in various farm activities, sometimes he takes credit from a bank or the agricultural cooperative society to buy HYV seed and implements. He sells his produce in the mandi located in the nearby town. Since majority of the farmers do not have lakh storage facilities, they are forced to sell the produce even when the market is not favorable to them. In recent years, the government has taken some steps to develop storage facilities. So this is a example of a developing country. Now let's see how do the farmers in USA do their agriculture. That is a developed country. The average size of a farm in USA is much larger than that of Indian farm. A typical farm size in USA is about 250 hectares. The farmer generally resides in the farm. Some of the major crops grown are corn, soybean, wheat, cotton and sugar beet. Joe Horan, a farmer in Midwest USA in Iowa State, owns about 300 hectares of land. He grows corn on his field after making sure that soil and water resources meet the needs of this crop. Adequate measures are taken to control pests that can damage the crop. From time to time, he sends the soil samples to soil testing laboratory to check whether the nutrients are sufficient or not. These results help Joe Horan to plan a scientific fertilizer program. His computer is linked to satellite which gives him a precise picture of his field. This helps him to use chemical fertilizers and pesticides whenever they are required. He uses tractors, seed drills, leveler, combined harvester and thresher to perform various agricultural operations. Grains are stored in the automated grain storage or the dispatch to market agencies. The farmer in USA works like a businessman and not like a peasant farmer. So obviously Mr. Joe Horan uses all the modern technologies to increase the production of agriculture. So obvious, and he has more amount of land than Munna Lal. So his production will be more. Okay, so this is the difference between agricultural developing country and agricultural developed country. Okay, so I hope you all understood the chapter in detail, and for more information or details please contact the Bodhi Academy.